Hello, fellow book nerds. Today we are talking about The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. Hello everyone, welcome to another dedicated review. Today I am going to review The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie Oh, and I am so excited. You know, I loved it because I read it as an ebook and then paid for another physical copy. Who am I? I'd only do this if I really like the book, because otherwise, we don't have time for that. We don't have money for that. We don't have space for that. This was so gorgeous. I just really wanted to have it. I love both this one and the American version. Oh, it's pink inside. I love both this one and American version, but you know, I'm glad I didn't read it physically because, girl, my nails always mark white books, like it's not even funny. So if you don't know, every month I review books that you guys are voting for that just came out that month, and we have a discussion, we have a really good time. Not gonna lie, no one really voted for this book, or at least it wasn't the book that won, because it actually didn't come out this month but last month, and something else won. I don't remember, but anyway, this didn't, but I just needed to read it. It's so up my alley, it's ridiculous. So The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea is a retelling of a Korean mythology story about about Shim Cheong. But it's a spin and a twist, and it's a feminist retelling. So basically in this one we follow a girl called Mina whose brother is in love with Shim Cheong. So Shim Cheong is the most beautiful girl in the village. Everyone thinks that she was like a gift from the gods with her beauty, and because of that she is chosen to be sacrificed to the sea god. So basically the sea god, every year the village sacrifices one girl to the sea god to be sea god's bride, in the hopes that this will appease the sea god and he will stop this curse that he thrown on the land with terrible storms. Yoon, Mina's brother, is in love with the girl who's meant to be sacrificed. Therefore, on the night of the sacrifice, Mina decides to throw herself into the sea and sacrifice herself instead of the girl her brother loves, because she knows that the brother would not allow this to happen to his beloved. From there ensues a story of Mina being in the sea god's kingdom, which is like a spirit realm, trying to make the curse disappear. I absolutely love Korean mythology, love Korean stories, love the dramas, love music. So I was really excited about that one, and I kept seeing amazing photos of this and everyone seemed so excited online, so I was like, I don't want to miss out, and I'm so glad I didn't. But we're gonna go into details and then I'm gonna tell you my overall thoughts. So first I will start off with writing. It was so beautiful. I really loved writing in this, but I think something that will appeal to more people than just me is the fact that writing was beautiful, but it wasn't overtly purple. It wasn't super like embellished and that kind of thing. It just felt like reading this beautiful story, and I really liked how there were so many quotable moments and things to highlight. I'm not that big on highlighting books. Like usually if I'm reading something physically and I'm gonna discuss it, maybe I'll mark a couple pages just to remember like some plot points, but these were just such beautiful lines. I just wanted to highlight the lines, and thankfully I had the ebook, so it's on my Goodreads. It was just so beautiful and really purposeful as well. I feel like the tie-in of the stories told throughout the novel, as well as proverbs, and just this love of like Korean mythology and culture and language really shown, and it was really purposeful to the main story being told, and nothing we learned was just like a throwaway line. Mostly it all served a purpose, which I really loved. Now let's talk about plot. I really thought it took some really unexpected turns for me. Upon reflection, I feel like I could have probably predicted some things that happened. Like, it is a YA novel, but I honestly didn't, and I was so surprised, and I was like, oh my god, no way. So yeah, I don't know, maybe you could have seen it coming, maybe I could have seen it coming in a different story, but I was just so on board there for the ride. I really was not bothered that much, and I just wanted to know what's happening, what's gonna happen, and I was swept away by the story. And I really love how the original mythology, having read a bit more about it, how that was repurposed, and how in the original story it's more like, you know, the patriarchal version of it, but this one's more focused on the main character and her motivation, and even with the main character from the mythology is the girl that the brother loves, and even her story was very purposeful, and she, you know, got some agency. So I really enjoyed that. I thought the book itself was really well set up and really tight in a sense, because there wasn't much room for boredom and everything had a purpose, and the book is not that big, but it was just so purposeful, and I love that, because I think sometimes authors like extend their stories to be duologies. Duologies is what's really popular now. Used to be trilogies that were super popular, and it's just like we're going because we need to. But this book as a standalone works perfectly. It's beautiful, and I love that, and I really loved the conclusion as well. Absolutely love the recurring motives, recurring themes, how it all tied up, and I think the fact that it was a standalone really meant that the author had an idea of what they want to do, and they executed it slowly, and they brought it all together rather than having to, you know, leave some things unfinished, some things finished. It's a beautiful story by itself, and I really appreciate that. Now let's talk about characters. So Mina, I absolutely love her. I actually think she's quite like a soft and kind-hearted person, while also not being a pushover or anything. She's very determined. She has her own mind. She loves her family so much, and it's beautiful. Not just her brother, but, you know, her grandma, her sister-in-law, her older brother. It's just beautiful to see this love and devotion, and I think she was just so full of this love and devotion, which made her strong. But she was not afraid to show kindness, and it wasn't like brawl, let's fight this out, but rather think it through, let's consider what other people might be feeling and where they're coming from, and I really enjoyed that. I also really liked how she understood the importance of stories. There was a really great quote I'm gonna share with you later, but she really understood the importance of stories and has such great respect for gods, and I thought that was super fascinating how that thread unfolded and how that came together, and I just really liked that, because it was just like something magical and something I don't think about that often, but it was really gorgeous. Then Shin is the love interest. I really liked him. I don't have that, I just said we love him in my notes. I don't have that many things to say about him, but I thought he was well written, fit with Mina very well. I had those warm fuzzy feelings and the gut clench, it was all there, so I really enjoyed that. And the character of the sea god I found rather fascinating, because he was really such a beautiful character, symbolizing, you know, this melancholy, and I think he was like, I don't know if it would say it was coded or was meant to be, but it felt like a character who has depression and is struggling to get out of that mindset, and I thought that was such a fascinating thing to put in this like Korean mythology inspired retelling, fantasy YA, this character who, without explicitly being stated, feels just so lost in his own mind, his life, with his purpose, and how stories kind of brought him out, and how he understood the world for stories, and I just thought that was so beautiful. There's definitely some mental health rep without being overtly descriptive and plain about it. It was more symbolic, or like subliminal. Subliminal is the word I was looking for. Next up, themes. So definitely a big one, power of storytelling. I absolutely love that. I think it's so true. There was a quote that I was going to share in my favorite quotes section, but might as well bring it up now. Sometimes only through a story can a truth be heard. Love that quote. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous and so true, and I really like the main character acknowledging that, and that was her superpower, her knowing all these wonderful stories from her grandma. Beautiful. And then definitely another theme was like believing in the greater power or the gods. Even in the face of difficulties, I found Mina's unflinching faith and her family's unflinching faith just so beautiful, considering how much shit they've gone through and how difficult life was for them. And I think it was just so beautiful to see that. Obviously it's not going to resonate with everyone, but just in this character, in this world, this context, I thought it was beautiful. And yeah, just kind of the place of gods and the place of just common people, and what's the responsibility of the gods in this like more, you know, fantastical sense of this is a fantasy world that exists. I just really liked the portrayal of the afterlife, because there's so many different layers to it, and you know how the spirits ended up in this realm was through their unflinching willingness to live. And I just found all of that so beautiful, and it's just magical, and it's filled me with this hope that I feel like I'm missing these days. Lastly, I want to share some of my favorite quotes. I made 6 highlights. So my first one was 3% in. After all, not all storytellers are grandmothers, but all grandmothers are storytellers. Oh, that's so cute. After all, attachment, or what the poet scholars call love, is also a choice. Two people can choose each other out of necessity or duty. Sometimes only through a story can the truth be heard is my favorite one. So those were all the quotes I really enjoyed. So overall thoughts, I love this book. I give it 5 stars. I just think it's such a magical, beautiful storytelling, kind of on par with Six Crimson Cranes. This isn't lost on me, but Six Crimson Cranes was such a beautiful surprise to me last year. And I think I read an article with Axie Oh, who's the author, and the author said that Six Crimson Cranes is a good book for someone who enjoyed Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. 100% agree. I think they both have this beautiful, luscious storytelling that's also really filled with a lot of lessons to be taken, and I think that is just absolutely gorgeous. Overall, cover just stunning, so I'm really happy to have seen this. I'm sure people have some awesome editions, so I'd love to see those if you have them. It's gonna be up there with my favorite books of the year, I think. I definitely want to reread it. This is why I got a physical copy, because I feel like it'll give me even more of an impact. But I love the ending of it and just filled me with so much happiness. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's such a K-drama ending. Oh my god. I am right now watching Master Sun, which is a K-drama. And I love that K-drama, but we got to the third act, or was it a third act breakup? I don't even know. But you know, the people getting not together again, and spoiler alert, there's amnesia happening, and I'm just like, oh my god, this book is such a K-drama. I need to just make a video about all the books that are like K-dramas, because I've been thinking that, but it's amazing. Like, it's the type of story, I love it, the type of storytelling that I just love getting lost to, because it breaks your heart, but it's also such exquisite pain, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me know, what did you think of The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea? If you had a chance to read it. If you didn't, did I convince you? I hope I did. I really hope I did, because I want more people to love this book. Although it feels to me like it's getting some love already, so that makes me so happy. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you could comment, like, and subscribe, I really appreciate it. It really helps me out. But that's it from me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!